For years, Tom and Jerry had waged their silent, relentless duel of one-upmanship along the scuffed wooden floors of their shared suburban home. Now, peace prevailed, at least on the surface. The cause? A citywide cheese sculpture competition, announced via a glossy flyer slipped under their door. Grand prize: 1 year's supply of cheese and local fame. Are you up for the challenge? To say that both Tom and Jerry were interested would be an understatement. Tom, an aspiring culinary artist with a penchant for grand gestures, saw the cheese championship as his path to artistic glory and neighborhood respect. Jerry, cheese connoisseur and amateur sculptor, with the steady hands of a safecracker, wanted primarily to win the cheese itself. Not to eat it all at once, that's unthinkable, but to savor, contemplate, and stash away for leaner days. And so, with 2 weeks to the contest, the pair locked themselves in a ceasefire. The battlefield would not be kitchen or a living room, but the workshop in the basement, now transformed into a makeshift cheese studio that would put a small dairy to shame. Wheels of cheddar, rounds of Gouda, blocks of Swiss and Emmental, all arranged in cooling stacks along the wall, waiting to be reborn as works of edible art. Preparation began with a flurry of research. Tom pored over glossy photographic tomes of Renaissance statues, sketching blueprints of elaborate cheese castles, heroic busts, and rodent-inspired monuments. He measured his chosen medium with the eye of a maestro and the ambition of a megalomaniac. Jerry, meanwhile, observed from the shadows. His approach was more improvisational, fluid, subtle, formed by a million private games and trial runs, always with an eye for weak points and opportunities. Their methods diverged, but their goal was singular: to create the largest, most breathtaking cheese sculpture in Hackettstown history. But artistic integrity, of course, was only one variable in the equation. After all, no contest could truly contain the spiraling chaos that trailed Tom and Jerry like mischievous clouds. Sabotage, subterfuge, and slapstick improvisation all but guaranteed that the next fortnight would be anything but calm. The first days went smoothly enough. Tom donned an apron and set to work with cheese wires, specialty knives, and an ice cream scoop that doubled as an architectural chisel. His vision evolved: a fountain of cheese spouting layers of Gouda, a Renaissance mouse towering over a cheddar Rome. Jerry, keeping a suspicious distance, began stockpiling cheese offcuts for his own project in the corner. From the blurry edges of Tom's activity, Jerry gathered intelligence: where Tom hid his Parmesan reserves, how the sculpture's superstructure was being braced, and when, exactly, Tom took his breaks to check on the soufflé upstairs. By the fourth day, secret skirmishes began. Jerry's first offensive was simple: shifting Tom's stepladder 2 inches to the left. As Tom scaled it, chiseling away at a massive Gruyere torso, the ladder tilted. A near fall, some frantic windmilling, and a self-assured, "I meant to do that," were all Tom had to show for his effort. Jerry watched from under a cheesecloth with silent amusement. The next evening, Tom retaliated with a thin layer of olive oil on Jerry's workspace. When Jerry attempted to balance his carefully carved miniature cheese dolphins, they skated into one another and collapsed. Tom, peering over his glasses, hid a smirk behind a slice of bread. Jerry responded by nibbling the essential nose from Tom's sculpted Hercules mouse overnight, a surgical act of sabotage that forced Tom to start over. By now, their projects were growing in ambition and risk. Tom invented a cheese paste mortar to bond delicate pieces together. Jerry engineered a support beam made from spaghetti strands, dipped in paraffin so they wouldn't soften. The temperature in the makeshift studio was a constant battleground. Tom insisted on refrigeration to prevent drooping, while Jerry, ever sensitive to drafts, cranked up the space heater to preserve malleability. The result was a battle of the thermostats and the occasional loss of minor cheese appendages to melting, or frostbite. But as always, necessity bred innovation. Tom, frustrated by the collapse of his latest motif, a cheese Venus in the shell, resorted to a midnight dash to the local cheese market. He returned with a specialty block of triple-aged cheddar, so hard it could serve as sculpture's spine.